Hello chickies, welcome to the Fully Booked Penguin channel. I am Hannah and today is the launch day of my debut novel, Sorrow's Blade. For those new here, I am Hannah, I am an Australian and I write books under the name Hannah A. Finch, and this is my debut novel, Sorrow's Blade. It is book one in the Umbra Lance series. It's a historical fantasy, it has a non-magical world, and they're standalones that are interconnected, and you read them in order. But this is the first one, and my debut. In this one, we are following Aja. She is a thief, and she's hired to assassinate the king of the country she's living in, Albania. She's actually an immigrant and a runaway, and so she's been scrounging up a living in Albania by stealing, and she may have had some run-ins with the king in the past, so the job isn't entirely for the money. It has found family, some themes of grace, forgiveness, a bit of wrestling between what is right and what you might deem as right and what is actually right. So there's some fun themes, but yes, this is a book one and it launches today. It's the release day. I thought I'd come on here and have a little, I don't know whether it's really a questionnaire because I'm asking myself the questions. But we're going to just have a little chitty chat about Sorrow's Blade and things around it, I suppose. I did a whole reveal of the book and the name and all that sort of stuff in my latest Writing Nook episode, so go check that out if you want more details on the book. But I thought we'd do some things around it, still involving the book obviously because it's the launch day, but so this is available on Kobo and Kindle. It is part of the Kobo Plus program, so if you have that, congrats, you can get it as part of that. And then you can get the paperback on Amazon or your local Barnes & Noble or a whole heap of sites. Your local bookstore should be able to order it in if you ask, if you want to do it that way as well. I'm currently writing my speech for my author event, which is this weekend. I thought I'd do it on the weekend so people have a chance of coming on a Saturday morning just for an hour. But I thought I'd answer some of the questions that I ask people. I'm going to ask them to myself and then Google a few questions that people might be curious about. And hopefully none of them cross over with my author event, but who knows? It could. It may. So first up, I thought I would answer the question, it's a tough one, about who my favorite character is. I ask everyone this question, so it's only fair that I answer the same question. This is hard because I know the future, and these characters reoccur in the future. Some of the side characters become main characters, so there's a lot of crossovers, and while this book is a standalone, it's not the end of my characters' stories. It's the end of this adventure, but not of their lives. So they have a lot of places to go from here, and I know those places, so I have a little insider knowledge and it may affect my opinion of some characters. My favorite character, well, obviously I love Aja. She is a different kind of character though. I honestly don't know if people are expecting Aja, my main character, from me. So I'm intrigued. I love her and adore her, but I also love and adore her for future reasons as well as current reasons. And the current reasons, 100% she is my bean. But for non-main character, I have to say, I have a couple of favorites. I don't want to give spoilers, so I will go just off this book. And I have to say, actually one of the main characters that inspired this book, because originally it was like a short story of this other series that I was running as a kid, and now it's the main thing. And he is Captain Ray. He's the captain of the Moonstruck, and he's so lovable. He's such a dad, but he's not a dad. He's like a lovable mentor figure, and I love and adore him and his moments. He has his crew and he is the true leader, but also he's not a harsh one. So he expects good work, but at the same time, he doesn't berate them for having fun either. He joins in and he loves his crew and everything. So I love him. And my favorite pet in the series is obviously Regad, because she is just the best horse around. You will see Regad in future stories, and she is just as sassy in the future as she is in this book, and love that horse. The rest of the cast, of course, I love, but for this book specifically, I've got to be loyal to, yes, my captain, and for pets, Regad. So far, I've only got feedback from a few different people about my book, obviously because today is release day and nobody's got around to reading it yet. But I have bragging rights because my dad, he doesn't read fantasy. And so he's reading it currently. He's halfway through at time of filming. I don't think he realizes how much it meant to me, but he said that when he's reading, he gets to the end of the chapter and he's like, it lures him into the next one. He's like, oh, well, now I have to go to the next one. The story keeps going. And I was like, wow, Dad, you just gave me one of the biggest compliments you can give an author. And then another friend of mine actually said she doesn't read much fantasy either, and usually reads nonfiction. And yet she felt that my book was a great lead into the genre, and that again, massive compliment. I'm so chuffed about those compliments because I am very harsh on myself. I'm a little too harsh on myself. My best friends can attest to this. I will downtrod myself. It's not other people downtrodding me. It is I am doing the stomping on. If I feel myself being proud of myself, I will stamp that down immediately because that is a no-go. So getting compliments from other people, it does feed my little soul. I saw a reel the other day and it was like, you finish your book and release it, and she's splayed out on the ground. And then someone gives her a 5-star review and she's like rising. She's revived. And I fear that I am like that because I will destroy myself in the process of writing and releasing, and then somebody gives you a compliment and you're like, I can write more. I can do this after all, even though I would continue doing it because I literally write for my own enjoyment. But it means a lot. So you might think your reviews or your compliments don't mean much to authors. Let me tell you, it does. It means so much. But yeah, my biggest brag is that my dad is reading it and he's liking it. So we'll see what he thinks in the end, because there's a few things to happen in the second half, but so far so good. So I think that's a plus. I know a lot of authors write things and they put themselves into the story pretty much. And I can't say that Aja is really much like me. She has a lot of differences from me, and that made her fun to create because she wasn't. But I think one of her main drives, her sort of wish for family, or at least a found family, she just yearns for that. But at the same time, she's scared of her role in that because she feels like she only ends up destroying that. And so that is one of my biggest fears. So in that sense, yes, I did write a bit of myself into her character, but for the most part, she is very different from me. Also, I just want to do a quick shout out to Ellie, my artist. Her handle currently on Instagram is EI__ZY, but her name is Ellie. And so she made my cover, there we go, as in the illustration. I did all the word art and the logo and all that sort of stuff, but she did the illustration for it. And she was so much fun to work with. That was one of my favorite parts of making this book, was working with Ellie to make this image. And I'm so excited to work with her in the future. But I think working with another creative who is just as passionate about creating and is anti-AI and stands for artists, writers, and the craft we make was so fun. And really, I'm so blessed to have found her when I did, and yeah, reaching out and the communication, 10 out of 10. So go follow her on Instagram. Working with Ellie was one of the most enjoyable parts of the publishing process. Obviously, I had great fun writing the book and then editing the book, less so in the later edits, but the structural one that edits, love that. But the later ones, your little brain starts to hurt. And the rest, loved formatting. I really do love formatting. Once you've done it for the 15th time, maybe not so much. But but in the grand scheme of things, I really enjoy formatting and designing, and well, the writing is the main part, but I really enjoyed it. I've got to say, the biggest hassle, well, I thought it was the ebook, which it kind of was, but as soon as I just went, you know what, I'm not doing anything fancy, it's an ebook, it was okay. But actually my map, because I have a map in my head of what the lands of Umbra Lance were like, and then the execution of that map took me so long. But there we go. I have a whole map in the book, and we'll reveal more of the map as the series progresses. And I just love it so much. But it also took me so many tries to get my own styling and what I wanted out of it. What is my favorite part in the book? I've got to admit, I don't usually choose favorites. So choosing a favorite moment in a book is like, I'm like, oh, I don't know, the whole thing. However, it usually leans towards funny moments. I love the heartfelt moments, adore them, my little heart. But humor is my life. I love a good laugh and joy. So the humorous moments are usually going to be what I lean towards with favorites. And one of my favorite moments involves Aja and Captain Ray and another character. I don't know what, I think it's just the squishy vibes. I love people looking out for each other. And so it's funny, but it's also like, wow, Captain Ray is there for our girl. And 10 out of 10 moment. Wait, I'll tell you what chapter, so I'm not just saying this random point. Well, let me see. So it's chapter 18, 201 to 202. That's the section. So I'm going to say that is my favorite moment. I mean, I have tons. I wrote an entire book, so of course I'm going to like what I wrote. But yeah, that is my favorite moment. What am I most excited for now that book 1 is complete? I'm currently editing book 2, and book 1 and book 2, there's sort of sections that overlap, and they happen concurrently at the same time. It's the same time frame between the two books. So the end of book 1 is also the end of book 2. It's roughly the same time that they end, but very different stories, other than a couple of little crossovers. And I'm editing it, and I've got a new cast of characters, a couple of familiar ones, whole heap of new ones, and I'm just loving crafting a new story. Obviously, I'm in the editing stage, and they're bigger edits, like I'm swapping things around and adding bits and pieces. So I'm excited to share that one at the end of this year, Lord willing. I just love the characters in it, and this new story, and there's fun, and there's more heartfelt moments, and yeah, that's what I'm excited is to continue this one and get it edited and get the cover in for it. I'm so looking forward to that, and just telling that new story and then moving on to other ones in the series. But I'm just having so much fun with the editing currently. You don't even know. I love these characters so much, which sounds selfish because it's me. I'm pretty much fangirling over something I created, like my own creation. I love it, and that's why I'm a writer. Because I amuse myself foremost, and hopefully that allows me to muse and entertain other people in the process. But yeah, it's Umbra Lance book 2, Lord willing, at the end of this year, start of next year. Again, I don't want to lock in a date at this point, but it is gonna come. So I know this is a little haphazard little video, but my book is out. Sora's Blade by Hannah Finch. Go get it. It's a historical fantasy, non-magical, lots of adventure, a lot of humor and heartfelt moments. Available on all the platforms, pretty much. As an indie author, if you do read it, please drop a review on Goodreads or wherever you review. Storygraph, Pagebound. And for my local beans, I shall see you at the book launch. Be sure to get your tickets. If you're coming to the book launch author event, you have to get the tickets, okay? Book in so they know you're coming. Only for an hour. What's an hour in the grand scheme of life? It would mean so much to me. If you have any questions, drop them below, and maybe I'll do an actual Q&A at another point. I might pop it in the next writing nook or something like that. But yes, I made a book. It's released. You can read it with your own eyeballs starting today. And much love to anyone who takes a chance on the little book. And until next time, I wish you all the most pleasant of days. And I bid you adieu. Peace.
T26